Hey there, toy collector friends and Star Wars fans alike. Welcome back to the channel. I'm the time traveling toy collector, and this is a fantastic piece that I picked up from London Film and Comic Con from the In Demand Toys stall, and it's a 50th anniversary Lucasfilm release in the retro style of the old school Star Wars action figures, complete with the old school Star Wars logo there. It's an action figure of Star Wars creator George Lucas himself, reimagined in a Stormtrooper disguise. So along with the classic Stormtrooper photo that appears on the card, we also get a very detailed Stormtrooper version of George Lucas himself. The character comes complete in the Stormtrooper gear with a blaster and a helmet. I haven't taken him out of the card, nor do I really intend to, but I do believe that the helmet does indeed fit over the George Lucas head sculpt mould. As you can see, also we have the replica blaster. So I'm just letting you have a slow pan of this before I take it in hand and we have a bit more of a look at it, even down to the Kenner detailing there. It's a really lovely piece of work. So I'm going to go back up and take us in for a bit of a zoom. So we've got that sort of 50th anniversary detailing there in the corner, the old school Star Wars 1970s logo with the 1970s artwork from the original film. And it's very much at the moment, there's a huge resurgence of the old retro carded approach to the action figures. Now, these were some of the first things I ever collected, as anyone long-standing on the channel will know already. And I did have a Stormtrooper. I wasn't an army builder. I tended to have one of each of all the figures. And they certainly were nowhere near as detailed as this, nor as posable. I mean, I'm going to bring it in hand a bit more now for us to have a bit of a closer look at. But I mean, just look at that George Lucas head sculpt. That's really good. And the helmet there is fantastic. You can see there's plenty of space under there to get the old George Lucas noggin inside there with that great original artwork from the film as appeared on the original toy cards, to be honest with you. His neck does look a little bit pained, so I think that could be a bit of a problem, but they may have had to make it that way just to get the helmet accessory to work. I've currently no intention of taking this guy out of that packaging, because I think that packaging makes it, for me, it's really good. And it is a celebratory piece. It's not something that you necessarily need to display in any way other than in its card. But you can see that it does have points of articulation, so it's already far more posable than the original 1970s toys. But I do like, there's a little part of me that would like to see a whole range of George Lucas Star Wars action figures as part of the celebration. Possibly seeing him in the Borscht bounty hunter outfit, possibly as Boba Fett, possibly as an Imperial snowtrooper from Hoth. Maybe we could also get a Darth Vader helmet, much like we did get the Anakin Skywalker reveal helmet removable in I think it's the Power of the Force figures. But yeah, all in all, I think this is a really nice touch. I think it's a really nice tribute to the creator. That sounded biblical. To the creator of Star Wars. Let's take a look at the reverse of the packaging. Yeah, currently there's plenty of words, plenty of languages, so it's very inclusive. And it does give us the timeline there from 1971 through to 2021 of the various films and series. Well, some of the series so far. I'm mindful that there are some things missing from there, like The Mandalorian isn't on there, Book of Boba Fett's not on there, but nevertheless it's a nice touch to have that timeline celebrating those 50 years. And there he is filming on the set of A New Hope, so we may even get some young George Lucas head sculpts in the future. And a little bit of bio across the various languages there. I think it's a lovely tribute. It does say here that it's a Black Series figure, and the Black Series figures, I must admit, I've been tempted by a few of them. They're very good. The quality of the sculpt is excellent. The quality of the detailing is excellent. Unfortunately for me, the price point for the action figure is slightly less excellent. So I'll just pop that there, and we'll come back up and do another little pan. Let's move it so that the light isn't obscuring poor old George. Yeah, that's better. But again, I think this is a really lovely piece. As I say, it was available at the London Film and Comic Con. It's not overly exclusive, I don't believe. I'm not doing it a disservice. So I think it's quite readily available. People can access it with a degree of ease. But I think it's a really fun tribute figure for George Lucas. I think it's a really great addition to anyone who has a Star Wars action figure collection. Of course, it's not in scale with the very original Star Wars figures. It is, I think, in scale with the newer Black Series figures, if you so wished it to be. But for me, it's staying in its packaging. I would normally ask at this point whether you think that George Lucas in Stormtrooper disguise has a place in your collection. If you're not sure, then you're probably not a Star Wars fan, significant Star Wars fan. Obviously, you can be a casual fan, but if you're a heavy-duty fan, you probably already have this, or at the very least, you're on the lookout for it. I'd seen some variations of it out there, but I'd never actually seen it in hand. So when I saw it in front of me at the London Film and Comic Con on the IndieMan Toys stall, it went straight into my basket, because there was no way this wasn't coming home with me from that event. And I just think the sculpt is brilliant. I love everything about it, even down to the different detailing on that helmet, the silver, the detail. I mean, it's what can I say? It's absolutely exquisite. So yeah, I would really hope, as part of the ongoing celebration of Lucasfilm's 50th anniversary and beyond, we might see some more iterations of George Lucas in other costumes, possibly across other franchises. Who knows? I could just see him dressed up as Indiana Jones's dad as well. Who knows what's out there? I mean, what would be your ideal George Lucas in costume action figure to celebrate his creativity and his contribution to cinema and classic iconic films over the last 50 years? It's really quite incredible. Let me know in the comments below, because that could be quite fun, and who knows what the future holds. So yeah, I just wanted to share this with you. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful sculpt. I'll come back out again just so you can get the full thing. It is, again, it's much larger than the original toys, so it's not truly retro, but the style is very retro and the style is very true to the original, and I'm happy with that. I'm more than happy with that. It was never something I was actively seeking. Then I saw it in hand, picked it up, and couldn't put it back down again, because I just thought this is a fantastic mold. And everything about it just screamed buy me, because even though I don't have the biggest Star Wars collection anymore, I used to have a huge Star Wars collection, and I'm still, Star Wars and all of the associated content that's come since, very much dear to my heart. So this was an instant spot purchase, having seen it in the flesh, and I would encourage, if you do see it, you'll understand what I mean. But yeah, so maybe if this video has helped you get a nice close-up look at Stormtrooper George Lucas, you will now know whether or not it does have a place in your collection. If it does, I do urge you to track it down and add it before it becomes a scarcity, which I do think will happen somewhere down the line. And then the scalpers will have you at their mercy. We don't want that, do we? So thank you very much for hanging around. If you thought this was a nice short snappy look at this particular figure, then do hit the like button. If you do think of anything that you'd like to see George Lucas represented as in a toy range mode, then also let me know that in the comments. Whilst you're down there, why not subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, then you'll never miss another Star Wars or Transformers or Star Trek or Doctor Who or Battlestar Galactica or G.I. Joe or who knows what video. And yeah, it's great for the channel, I won't lie, but hopefully it helps bring a bit of a community of toy admirers and celebrators that bit closer together. Anyway, thanks for spending the last 10 or so minutes with me looking at this figure. I hope to see you in a future video. In the meantime, may the force be with you, and don't forget that a thing of beauty really is a toy forever. Again, thanks very much, take care, and bye bye for now.